Welcome everyone. Boom, baby. It's good to be before you all. Hope everybody is doing well. Hope you had an awesome week. I do enjoy doing Maté talk. It's a lot of, okay, I love the way I hesitated. Do I say, do I not say? So I love doing Maté talk. I enjoy the engagement, even though it's delayed. So creating the episode, boom, out it goes. And then the comments that come through. In a way, it's a very it's like the old long distance telephones when I was a kid, hello mom, and wait, and hi son, you'd eventually hear the response coming in from Argentina. It was all in Spanish, so hola mami. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted. So I do enjoy this engagement, the chance to connect with you guys and then read your comments, respond to them, all that sort of thing. Having said that though, Thursday morning when I wake up, because it goes out like Thursday midnight, I think. Or was it Wednesday midnight? Wednesday midnight. It goes out, and then Thursday morning I wake up. So there's a sense of elation, like I've crossed the finish line. Boom, Maté talk is up. And I'm like, whew, only to discover when I wake up in the morning that it's like, whew, okay, let's go. The new race is directly in front of me. So it's always, once I get the idea, oh, this is what I want to do, it flows from there. But yeah, it's sometimes getting the idea that is the challenge. But I've got a good idea for today. I have been testing. So you noticed those people who saw the episode on Dune and my little fantasy lineup of all the different fragrances that people were wearing. I mentioned that the Emperor was wearing Attar'S. Quite a while back, I had an opportunity to be with Michael, the great Michael Marzano, and we went through all the Amouage Attar'S when they first came out, and I loved them. I loved the ritualistic component of them. That is, he showed me that you dab it on here, or you dab it on now you're actually dabbing it on heat spots. So he showed me to dab it on here, and then you do this rotating of, it's almost like I said, like a ritual, Anyway, for Aussies, have a look at the Libertine website. They had a promo, and this is normally $300 or something to that effect. It's half price. So I jumped on. After I said that the Emperor's wearing Attar'S, I'm like, I need to explore these Attar'S. I need to get into and discover them personally. So I got myself this beautiful discovery set with all the, well, not all, but a majority of them. I think there's six, and it's been awesome. The one thing that I love about these Attar'S, and let me just say, so I've been testing, but not just one, all of them. So there's an iris in here, there's incense, there's oud, there's rose, there's vanilla. My whole family, well, they've been testing, but I was gonna say my grandchildren involuntarily have also been testing, because I'm like, come here, sweetie, I'm gonna put on this. And on my little granddaughter, I put iris and vanilla, and I got her to do this. So cute, by the way. She's doing this. She smelled amazing. So one thing about the Attar'S, and I'm hoping to go in a little bit, I'll spend some more time, or actually include them in my collection. You can tell that I'm negotiating with my financier. So I would like to include these in my collection because they're just beautiful. They are. So if you want to discover Attar'S, and I'm sure that maybe I'm late to the story or the party when it comes to this. I know that there are a number of perfume lovers and nations who are already fully embracing all things Attar'S, but this is a new sort of entry for me. I will explore this more, and I promise that I will create some episodes around it. But I need to, I'm going to get more knowledge in this space. But the Amouage Attar'S, each one of them, bada bing, absolutely glorious, and a big recommendation. Have been testing. Boom. Moving on. Let me have a little drink, please. Okay. Announcements. So only two quick announcements. One is that I'm doing a Libertine meetup this coming Saturday. I'm flying out. I've got a number of meetings in Sydney. I'll be running around a bit. But on Saturday morning between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m., I will be in the Paddington store, the new Libertine boutique that's been created, and I'll be there for that. If you are in the Sydney area, if you can make it across, I'd love to meet you. I'd love you to show me, actually, you know what? We'll go and we will do the Attar'S together, because I know that they'll have samples there, or testers, and we will test these Attar'S together. or any fragrances that you may like to show off to me. So if you're able to make it across, I'd love to see you guys and we can have an awesome catch up. The other thing that I'm doing is the NFC Live. Here are the details to the live. This will be with the great Michael Marzano. For those who are familiar with the channel, you'll know that this was my very early perfume pusher. So Michael, I attribute a lot of the way that I like to talk about perfume to this great man here. He's been in the perfume industry for years, incredible knowledge. Now, he has moved across to Perfume de Mali, or Parfum de Mali, and he will be talking about that in the upcoming live, okay? If you're interested in buying any Perfumes de Mali, hang tight, because there might be, we're working on something, there might be a promo connected to all this, and they do deliver around the world, okay? So it's pretty generous. What they're putting together is gonna be pretty exciting. So if you do love Perfume de Mali, if you wanna do something there, then wait for the live. That's happening, this is the times, across the world. I look forward to connecting with you guys. Boom, all right. So what I wanna do today is, for those who may not have seen this episode, there's a thing that I love doing on the channel called Perfume FAQs, Ask Me Questions. If you've got any questions that you're been thinking about, how did this come about when it comes to maybe like a particular fragrance note, there might be a chance that I've already spoken about it and I'll connect you to that, but there might be a chance that I haven't done anything yet, and so that'll commence my exploration in this area. I had quite a while back a gentleman by the name of Fred, the consigliere of the channel, who asked me, can you tell me more about skin chemistry and how this affects people? Because, and he mentioned in his case, that he finds that his perfumes perform differently than on others. And so this is something that I've always had in my mind, because I've had this experience personally also. Now, one thing that was interesting, and so if you haven't seen the episode on skin chemistry, is it a real thing or is it in fact a myth? And I wanted to, now that we're doing Maté Talk, we could be a bit more, the episode was very structured and I wanted to sort of create a dialogue. So I didn't want to sort of stray too far. Whereas here we're Maté Talk, we're now sort of having a much more relaxed conversation on it. And I want to share a few more things, a few more thoughts in this space. Give me 1 second now. All right. The one thing that I asked in that episode, and if you haven't seen it, have a look at it. I'm not going to spoil it. There's no spoilers here, so you can watch this and still enjoy that episode across there. The one thing that I asked in that episode is, do you personally believe in skin chemistry, and do you believe that that actually is a real thing? It was exciting to see so many people actually saying yes. And it's not because it wasn't like a tug of war or an arm wrestle between those who do and those who don't. It was just to understand how many people are experiencing this also. Is it just, sometimes there are certain things that you go through in life and you think it's just you going through it, only to discover there's a whole world of people doing the same thing. So because there's no, and this is the part that it took a while to actually bring this episode to life, because I couldn't find any conclusive evidence or scientific data. Well, I'm not a scientist, but some research in this space to say that yes, skin chemistry does actually affect or deform a perfume. Everything is by it's sort of through second-hand experience, basically, or first-hand experience. It's through first-hand experience that I'm getting feedback. Like every perfumer that I speak to, Meo Fushuni, Luca Maffei, Pierre Guillaume, in that particular episode, I ask a series of questions, and they're all pretty consistent. And then really for me, I'm doing my own research and data. So I always ask similar questions to each of these individuals. And one of the questions is, do you feel that your perfumes, do you create your perfumes to respond to people's skin, okay? And Pierre, in that episode, he did mention that yes, that he's more, and if you watch that episode, you'll see that he says that his perfumes are more than just about feeling, about a beautiful smell. He wants some kind of response, whether it's sexual, whether it's erotic, whether it's animalic, whether it's beautiful and sort of sweet. So he's actually constructing fragrances with these things in mind. So he says, and he mentioned in that episode, that the magic for him, the catalyst to his creation, is our skin chemistry. And he says that the magic for him is his fragrance, and he mentioned Tonka Body Con, plus Marcelo, so me, my skin, my smell, my scent, my DNA, creates the magic. So it seems as if the consensus is that we're all experiencing that skin chemistry to some degree is affecting or deforming, and he actually, again, Pierre uses the word that we deform the perfume. And another classic, spray it on card, and smell that. That is and again, taking words out of Pierre's dialogue, he mentioned that the card is he said the equilibrium, but I think what he was trying to say is that the card is the neutral response of that fragrance, all right? And it's not until you put it on your skin, which now reacts with your skin chemistry, the smell that you have, plus your heat. That's the other factor. And he talked about that body heat is another response to the molecules and how they flare up and create things. Anyway, bottom line is that there seems to be a consensus that skin chemistry and perfume is a real thing. I want to give you two, because there were some people who wrote that no, they didn't believe that skin chemistry, and as I mentioned in that episode, I did mention there's a gentleman who's also I think he's a biologist, if I'm not mistaken, or a chemist, focusing on olfactory understanding. All right, the gentleman's name is Luca Turin. I was going to say Luca Maffei. Luca Turin. He has a very strong opinion. I was going to say he's very opinionated. He is. He has a very strong opinion on things, and he essentially says he says it's a complete myth. The whole thing is just fabricated, and it's just us doing an olfactory interpretation, and I'm going to talk about that too. So just so you know, even if you don't believe in skin chemistry, olfactory interpretation is a real thing. My case that I put there, and I said this is more of a casual conversation now, my case is that both exist simultaneously. So it's not one over the other. Both are actually existing on the same parallel. So the skin chemistry is real, but olfactory interpretation is also very real. Let me give you two examples where skin chemistry plays a significant role in deforming a fragrance and making it different. You saw it in that episode. You probably saw that I had 1872 on the table. I did speak about it, but in the end, it got cut out of that final production. I'll talk about it now. And that is that this is a fragrance both my son and myself love. Now, my son's probably about 30 years old, so he's a younger man. The notes, so it's the same bottle, so it's not like we have separate bottles. He actually borrows this, and on him, the aromatic components of this fragrance really accentuate. Clary sage, lavender, those more brighter notes, the citrus notes really pop. It smells youthful and aromatic and vibrant. On me, the more muskier tones actually accentuate, musky and wood. So the patchouli, the olibanum, the musk that's in the base. So to the point, no exaggeration. I'm wearing it. Nelson says, great fragrance. What is that? I'm like, 1872. And he's like, no, it's not. I'm wearing 1872. I smell him and I'm like, same fragrance, two different profiles. So here's another, so test these. So you now work it out, or you now test this for yourself. On a younger man, this is what I've discovered. On a younger man, 1872, vibrant, aromatic, bright. On an older person, somehow, and I don't know, maybe we have bigger musk molecules on our skin as older, more seasoned men, and it's creating that much heavier tone, that woody tone. All right, another one was, and have a look at this episode, also with the great Michael Marzano. And this is a live response. So I sprayed this, he was blindfolded, didn't know what I was spraying on him. He detected an egg-like quality to it. When he said egg yolk for that matter, I'm like, what in the world are you talking about? I remember like, egg, where are you getting egg yolk from? This is floral with some woody, mossy woods components to it. Turns out there's carob in here, and carob has like a chocolate sort of component to it. He mentioned to me afterwards, and again, have a look at that video, have a look at the response. He mentioned to me afterwards that anything with vanilla, anything with any level of sweetness, chocolate, anything sugar, or anything of those particular notes, on his skin, he deforms it. His skin deforms it into this weird, sort of scent profile. So citrus vanilla fragrances, excuse me, citrus vanilla fragrances on him smell horrible. That's his words. They smell terrible on him. And here was a perfect example where beautiful fragrance like this one here, which is Milonga Verde by Fuella 1833, which has this beautiful aromatic green component. And I chose it because he loves green fragrances, not realizing that chocolate note was his skin deformed it into something weird. Boom. All right, let me take a little break, a baby break. All right, give me a second. Olfactory interpretation now. So as I said, both exist. Skin chemistry, olfactory interpretation. Let me give you two olfactory interpretations that again, these are things that I wanted to include, but you don't want to have a very long episode. A lot of people don't like patchouli. They find patchouli offensive to the point where it's that, and what I think it is, it's that camphorous, mildewy, sort of wet, dampness about it. If you do love patchouli, find somehow Hindu grass by Nasumato. It has been discontinued, unfortunately, and that's because the patchouli that Alessandro was using couldn't find it anymore, and so has stopped it. So I think this is probably, and you can see, this was a gift to me. I use it sparingly. When I really want to, it's just divine, honestly. When I really want to just enjoy patchouli, enjoy the sublime components of the celebration that is patchouli, which is the mildew, which is the earthy, which is the wood, which is the slight sweetness that it has, this baby here is divine. However, Sandra, my wife, has a radar for patchouli. She just does not enjoy it, period. We did, so last year we did a tour, the France Fragrance Tour. Actually, we're doing another tour this year in September. If you want to know more about that, have a look on the link below. We get a chance to go behind the scenes, discover fragrances, and also enjoy good things. So in this case here, so last year in September, we were in the Serge Lutens boutique. We had a special area just for us. We were sampling and testing a number of fragrances. One of the Serge Lutens specialists was there navigating us through the different fragrances. We came to Borneo by 1834. And she said to us, what can you detect? And we're all like, now these are, so there was a table of probably about 12 individuals, all absolute niche lovers, perfume lovers. Everyone's going, what is this? This smells amazing. Yes, it's very beautiful. It's a beautiful fragrance. All of a sudden, Sandra goes, patchouli. And the lady goes, exactly, it's patchouli. So where the rest of us were like, I can detect, so it's not just a patchouli fragrance, it's a fragrance that I guess celebrates patchouli, but with all these other notes, whereas Sandra was quickly able to go, pull out that patchouli and go, I don't like it. So olfactory interpretation, or olfactory, I guess, associations is definitely part of that journey. Another one where olfactory interpretation takes place, and that is this, another glorious fragrance, this time from Orto Parisi, also Alessandro Galtieri. It's Bocca Nera. Now, this combines a dark chocolate, so beautiful, dark, rich chocolate with oud. I have a granddaughter. She's probably about 5 or 6 years old, and she loves stinky oud. She loves sassy oud. So what I mean by that is that where someone else may, so I don't have any really strong, pungent oud fragrances, but I have fragrances that really celebrate the oud note more than words. I spray more than words on her. It smells amazing. We went away on a bit of a little retreat with the family. She was wearing Bocca Nera. Now her sister, on the other hand, just recoils. She smells this, and it's like she is smelling something very, very, very sassy. Whereas for my little granddaughter, who loves to wear nice, pungent oud fragrances, Bocca Nera is her thing. Now the last one, and that was in relation to, and this is something that I'd like to do an episode on. I'd love to get, whether I should or shouldn't, to give me your views on this. one thing that I've been thinking about is, so we understand that perfume has the ability to seduce. So beautiful smell. I have the segments, baby, what's your name? Baby, what's your name? Baby, what's your name? We're actually editing right now. They'll come out, that's actually, this Saturday comes out with Elias and his girl Sienna. So watch that episode, that's a lot of fun. So the Baby What's Your Name is all about fragrances used as a form of seduction, as a form of like a lure, you know, to bring in your lover essentially. The concept is, and this exists in nature, pheromones. Pheromones are there within nature to draw in, to bring in, sometimes just to keep people together or keep a group of, not people, bring animals together like bees and ants and things like that. But also pheromones are used as a mating lure for animals. So does this exist? This is my question. Does it exist in humans? Perfumers would like to tell you that it does. I'd love to hear your thoughts actually. Do you believe that there are pheromone style fragrances? Let me tell you two. And this is what I want to do an episode on, or explore this. So one is by this brand here called Sacred Bond. Reinvented. Sacred Bond is another fragrance, sorry. Reinvented. It's called pheromones. And supposedly it has a molecular note there of a particular pheromone that's meant to draw your lover. So this is something that I'll explore. But this is one that I love using. Muscada Ferro J. So another one by the House of Fuella. What I use this one for. So I mentioned in my video that if you want to have your fragrance to really pop a lot more, that you would apply some petroleum jelly, some kind of Vaseline or something of that nature, just to, I guess, prime the skin. Another option is, but this means that you got to spend more money because a jar of petroleum jelly is going to cost you very little compared to a bottle of perfume that is designed as almost like a fragrance enhancer. Think of it like salt in a meal, okay? So by putting a little bit of salt, boom, all of a sudden all the flavors begin to emerge. These kind of fragrances, these molecular, essentially it's like I think it's Cetylox that they use as their base. In this case here, what the perfumer Julian Badel has done is he's added a pheromone component to it. And the idea is people smell this and go, my gosh, where have you been all my life? I don't use it for that. I actually use it as a primer. If I have a citrus fragrance, which I know is light, I'll put this on first as to prime my skin and then place my citrus fragrance over the top. And I find that I do get more longevity out of that citrus fragrance. Overall, Vivian, I said I wasn't going to, but here it goes. I have perfect perfume skin, and so as a result, my fragrances tend to pop fairly well on me. But for the lighter fragrances that I have, like citrus ones, as I said, I do like using this. And this is another good idea if you guys want to prime your skin with like a Cetylox or like something that really sort of amplifies your fragrance. You would put this first. So Not a Perfume by Juliet Has a Gun is another good example. So you would prime your skin first with something like that and then put your fragrance over the top of that. And it does give it more energy, more bounce. But again, now you got to buy 2 sets of perfumes essentially, when really, from what I've seen and what things I've read, by applying a little bit of a petroleum jelly on your skin, prime it first, then spray, it actually then does an awesome job. Bada bing. Mission accomplished. A short Maté talk today. It was mainly just to recap on, I wanted to expand a little bit more on that episode. Had a lot of fun bringing it together. It took me a long time. I really sweated that one through because I didn't want to just be talking stuff. As much as possible, I wanted to bring facts to the table so that everybody can understand, I guess, the research behind it. And obviously at the end of the day, you make your own conclusion as to which way you'd like to go. That's it. If you've got any comments for me, any questions for me, please let me know. If you found this, or if you found this enjoyable, if you found this entertaining or beneficial, I'd love you to subscribe to the channel. I would also love you to share with one friend. It would be a huge help to me. It's a great boost to the channel, and it's a great support for the work that I'm doing here and this engagement that we have together. Thanks everyone. We'll see you guys all on the next episode. That was a good Maté talk. Boom.